Hello, hello. How are you? Hello. I've missed you guys. I have missed you. Indy's here. Indy's here as well. Am I the asshole for letting someone skip my bachelorette party and not telling them new details that would have changed their mind? I wanted to post this story as a video, but I decided to give, you guys a treat. Because hell no, you can't go. Shit. Apologies in advance, as I've had a hard time writing this situation in a single sentence. My brother's been trying to push me to get closer to his girlfriend, Mary. They've been together for 3 months. I've done my best to get to know her, initiating dinners, trying her hobbies with her, things like that. But we honestly just don't really get along. I personally think she's a snob. She's complimented my designer bag, but took the compliment back when she found out it was thrifted. She literally said, "Yikes, I take that back." That's fucking funny. Like, it's not funny because that's mean as fuck, but it's funny because you know how you think shit like that, but you would never dare to say it out loud? It's funny, like the secondhand embarrassment that I'm feeling for this bitch. Like, you said that out, you let that escape through your mouth? You classless bitch. Like, like it's not funny. It's like I'm embarrassed for her. Because are you kidding me? I think while she thinks that I lack culture and sophistication, that's also something that she's mentioned when she tried to convince me to do a makeover with her. The issue is that I'm getting married this year, and my brother has been really, really trying to get her involved. My thing is, they've only been together for 3 months. Y'all don't even fart in front of each other yet. Why do you want her to be involved in your sister's wedding? They have not even been together for 3 months. 3 months. No. The way I would have cussed baby up and down the wall trying to get me to do something with his brother 3 months after we got together. Like, bro, I don't even like doing stuff with you yet. Like, I don't even like doing stuff with you all the way yet. But you want me to do stuff with your... No. Anywho, moving on. My brother's been really trying to get her involved. I put my foot down with the bridal party since they've only been dating for 3 months and I don't know her. He wanted her to be a part of the bridal party, but he insisted that I invite her to the bachelorette. It was originally supposed to be super low-key and local. Mary tried to push for something more extravagant, but it really wasn't in my budget. Mary, how you gonna push for me to do something more extravagant for my bachelorette party? When I wouldn't budge, she told us that something came up that weekend and she couldn't go anymore. I was later surprised by my friends who had come together to organize a lavish weekend through favors and points, i.e. one of my friend's aunts works for a spa, and she was able to get discounted packages and another used her travel points to book a suite, things like that. I wasn't told about this and was truly and happily surprised. That's really sweet. I swear, if my friends don't come through like this, I don't like you bitches no more. The issue is that Mary found out after we posted pictures and she was pissed. I thought something came up. Why are you mad, Buki? I thought something came up. My brother was now saying that I deliberately left her out, but she told me that she was busy. Mary said that if she had known that weekend was like that, she would have rearranged her schedule. I feel conflicted because I suspected my friends didn't tell Mary on purpose, but they're claiming they made the plans after Mary bowed out and didn't reach back out since she was busy. My brother still says I should have double checked and made more of an effort to let Mary know my plans. Why? She told me she was busy. If the weekend would have been as simple as we were planning for it to be, do you still think I should have double checked and made sure Mary was aware of our plans so that she could join if she wanted to? I didn't fucking think so. I figured that I would ask the internet if I was the asshole. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Like, if you wanted your girlfriend to go on a lavish weekend, bitch, I need you to hand her your debit card. That's not on your... Like, why are you pushing your girlfriend off on your sister? You don't even know this girl. Have you met her parents yet? 3 months? 3 months? Baby didn't meet my daddy until we were together for almost a year. Like, no. Hell no. I think the friends did it on purpose. You can't tell me that they didn't. That you can't. Good friends, they did that shit on purpose. Because I'm almost positive that OP has talked to her friends about how Mary treats her. So they know exactly how Mary is. And they know that if Mary was aware that the plans were changing and they were having a more lavish weekend, she would have 100% rearranged her plans so she could be around. They did it on purpose. If they didn't, it wasn't meant for her to go because things just worked out like that. Like, if they didn't, it was not meant for her to go. Like, Mary, if you want to go some fucking where, then go and do some shit. Like, I truly feel like Mary don't have no friends. That's why the brother is trying to push her off onto his sister, because she ain't got no fucking friends. She literally complimented a bag, but then found out that she got it secondhand and then took it back as if the bag was no longer that name brand. As if the fact that it was secondhand changes the fact that it is still made by this designer. And secondhand don't mean cheap. Secondhand don't mean worn. I've seen a lot of very, very nice things that are in a thrift store that look like they've never been taken out of the dust bag a day that it was since it left the store. Like, at all. All right, Mary. Mary's one of those bitches that'll have an expensive purse but nothing in it because she spent all her money on the purse. Me, I'm gonna get a dupe that came with a matching wallet. That way there's money in the wallet, in the purse. That's me. That's me. So if y'all ever see me with something name brand, I don't automatically assume it's real. Ask me and I'll let you know. Am I the asshole for having a kid? Wait. Am I the asshole for having a kid when my ex-wife is going through menopause? My ex-wife, 45 female, and I, 43 male, are in the process of a divorce. We have 2 kids in high school. She started to hate me during our last year of our marriage, along with mood swings and just being shitty. The only thing I could think of at the time was that she was being hormonal. She didn't like when I told her she was being hormonal. She would get defensive. I told her to see a doctor and she refused. I don't think she would have listened to me. I gave her an ultimatum to go to therapy and see a doctor or we're done. She asked for a divorce. I didn't argue. I told her fine if that's what she wants. She told me I'm a mediocre husband and she was better off alone. That actually definitely defines me. I am a mediocre husband. I'm not very good looking and I'm not a millionaire. I've never cheated, so I guess I'm not a bad husband, just mediocre. She filed the petition for divorce. Then, a few months later, she suddenly withdrew it. She told me that she was having second thoughts. I filed the petition myself because I had met a woman, 36 female, who was nice to me, which came as a shock to my system. Damn, I couldn't have gone back to my wife after that. Ma'am, you fucked up. It turns out my ex-wife's sister convinced her to see a doctor as she discussed about her periods being irregular with her. She was going through premenopause and she just started HRT. She started dragging the process, so we've been going through divorce for like ever. My girlfriend found out that she's pregnant. I told her that I'm a mediocre dude. That's why my ex left me. She told me that she's also mediocre and she wants to raise a mediocre kid with me and live in a mediocre house and live a mediocre life. That's so cute. That is so cute. So she's now my fiance and my wife as soon as I get divorced. I thought news of her pregnancy will make my ex understand that our marriage has ended, but she went crazy about it. She's now claiming I abandoned her when she needed me the most, that I'm a bad person for having a kid when she's going through menopause. She left me first. No, he's not the asshole. Absolutely not, because he the doctor, but she wanted to be stubborn and choose not to listen to him. And now she's suffering the consequences of her actions. When he told her that he was going to leave, she decided to tell him that he was mediocre, that he wasn't all types of this, that, and the other. Okay, well, I found somebody that fucking likes it. I'm mediocre and she loves me for my mediocreness. She doesn't talk down to me. Bitch, you ruined a good thing. You had somebody who was there with you that was willing to go through the ups and downs, but was tired of being walked on all the goddamn time. Absolutely not. He deserved it, and I love it. She said, well, I'm mediocre too, and we're going to have a mediocre baby and live in our little mediocre house and have a little mediocre life. Like, oh, I wish them so much happiness. I wish them so much happiness. That's so cute. That is so freaking cute. That makes me want to cry. Am I the asshole for not arranging childcare when my husband was sick? Over the last 7 years, I've been the primary caretaker for my husband and my 3 children, 7, 5, and 2. Through maternity leaves and then working evenings and overnights, I'm still the one who does the most childcare and household tasks. Whenever I'm staying home with the kids and I was sick, my husband would just go about his routine as normal. He would leave without checking if I would need help for the day. There would be times where I was so ill I needed to call in reinforcements, but I would have to arrange that. Recently, my husband got a job where he gets 1 weekday off. Today is his day off. I'm working today and I have several meetings and trainings that I need to attend. Nope, I would have left his ass at home with the kids too. He's been messaging me nonstop that he's sick. I told him that it's his responsibility to arrange for care since he's the parent at home, as I had done it many times when I was home with our children. He's texted me, what is wrong with you, several times about me telling him he needs to make his own arrangements. I asked him several times if he's ever asked me if I needed help while sick. He keeps asking me what is wrong with me. I don't feel like I'm the asshole because this is the same treatment that he gives me, but maybe I am. Y'all be picking him. Y'all be picking him. Because you can't tell me you didn't know that he wasn't going to help you with your motherfucking kids before you got pregnant. You can't fucking tell me. Y'all be picking him. But no, you're not the asshole at all, because the way I would block him while I was at work, he'd have to call my phone 3 times in a row to get through. Like, hell no. Put my phone on do not disturb while I'm at work. Like, no, I'm not. How would she know that he wasn't going to take care of their kids before they got together? Because this isn't shit that just fucking pops up. There are red flags before you have children if you know that your husband is going to help you with your fucking kids. She does majority of the housework and the chores while taking care of the fucking kids. Do you think he was helping with the housework before they had kids? I don't think so. That would have been the red fucking quilt right there. Because if I got to wash my clothes, your clothes, the dirt from your shoes, the dirt from my shoes, and everything in the house every day like I'm the only motherfucker living here, I'm not going to add 3 more people to the mix. That's why. Because there's red flags. Like, you know, there's things that let us know that men don't really like us. And us at the time, we think I can love you hard enough for the both of us. And that shit, no, it's a myth. It don't work. It don't work. You can't do it. You can't love him enough to make him love you the way you want him to. That is a myth. You have better chances of finding a motherfucking unicorn. A rainbow with a pot of gold at the end. Fucking mermaid. Clear? Like, you have a better chance of finding her than you do loving a man to the point that you think he's going to love you the way you want him to. That's not how it works. And often we convince ourselves that we can. I'm saying we because I was a dumb bitch once upon a time, but because I have seen and I have learned and I have done better, I can now actively speak against it. But we convince ourselves when we know good and fucking well. We ignore the red flags, the red quilts, the sheets, the comforters that are waving right in front of our faces. We ignore that shit. We do. Like, we ignore it. And you can't tell me that this man was doing his share of the laundry and the housework and everything before they started having kids. I know he wasn't. Like, I'm not. No, not at all. Not at all. Okay. But no, I don't think OP is the asshole for that at all, because you're okay. But men are fucking babies. Let a man catch a cold. He act like both his legs broke, his spleen hanging out, and one of his arms is hanging off. You'll be all right. Am I the asshole for telling my sister-in-law off in front of her mother in the hospital? So my wife is currently 39 weeks pregnant. Her mother flew in to be a part of the birth and to help with the baby for a month. After 2 days after arriving, she suffered a pretty major stroke. Well, damn. Luckily, I caught the stroke early. She thought she may have had food poisoning, and I rushed her to the hospital. She received care within a few minutes. I told the ER staff that she was having a stroke. She's now in the neurotrauma ICU and is slowly recovering. I've driven with my wife each day to be by her side. She receives physical and speech therapy every morning, and that's usually when the doctors make their rounds and give crucial information, and my wife wants to be there for it. The issue is that so does her sister-in-law. Well, her sister-in-law has 2 children and a husband that works. Well, bitch, it looked like you can't go. It looks like you can't go. I guess her husband doesn't want to or can't take off, so she's been hounding my wife to babysit her children. You want this woman's daughter to not go so that her daughter-in-law can be there. This has to be the wife's brother's wife. Because he said this is his wife's sister-in-law. So she wants this woman's daughter to stay home and babysit her children so she can go and listen to crucial information given to her about her husband's mother. Why is your husband not trying to go to the hospital with... Anyway, I'm sorry, you guys. Like, I really got stuck on that. Yeah, this is her sister-in-law. So this has got to be the OP's wife's brother's wife. Why is he not trying to go see his... Anyway, okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It just caught me off guard. My wife and I have both expressed several times that we can't watch the kids because she also wants to be there in the morning. I would normally offer to just babysit myself and for my wife to go to the hospital, but she's 39 weeks pregnant and could go into labor. Now, the first incident happens over the phone. Sister-in-law throws a bitch fit and is constantly saying that we're being inconsiderate and don't want to help her out. I explained that isn't fair to her sister, and she tells me to stop arguing with her. I tell her she isn't the one in control, and she hangs up the phone. She's cold and irritable with me all day at the hospital when she does arrive. Well, today the situation finally came to a head. My wife and I showed up at 8 a.m., and sister-in-law shows up shortly after. I go and use the restroom, and when I come back, I walk in on sister-in-law pretty much chewing my wife out in front of the mom, saying things like, "It's your fault my husband has to miss work." So I jump in and pretty loudly say, "Your children are not my problem. You're self-centered and this isn't all about you." She ends up crying and storms out of the hospital and just goes home. My wife is now pissed at me, saying that I didn't need to do that in this situation. Bitch, no. We need to normalize going off on people who want to be mad at me for stopping someone for attacking you. Just because you are okay with somebody verbally abusing you does not mean that I'm okay with my wife being verbally abused. I have every right to step the fuck in. We need to normalize shutting that shit the fuck down. You need to shut the fuck up because you weren't speaking to her. You allowed her to snap on you, to talk down to you in your mother's hospital room. You need to save that energy for her. You don't get to be mad at me for stepping in for you. No. Normalize snapping on motherfuckers who want to go off on you for protecting them. Shut the fuck up. Don't, "Oh, now you found your voice because I didn't hear you say nothing when she was in here snapping at you on shit that didn't have nothing to do with you." Shit. No, that shit irritates me so fucking much. Your anger is misdirected. Point that shit at her. Point that shit at her. Like, no, we need to normalize snapping on people who want to be fucking stupid. Anywho. The sister-in-law has said other disgusting entitled bullshit as well, such as when we were discussing out-of-hospital physical therapy. The sister-in-law interrupted the doctor and asked, "Which one is the closest? I have 2 kids to take care of and I can't drive that far." At this point, I'm having the mother brought to our house for care, and I will be transporting her to the best physical therapist. The thing is, though, I've never been the aggressor. I'm simply setting boundaries. So what do you think, Reddit? Am I the asshole for this? I don't think so. I don't think you're the asshole for this at all. Update. The next day, sister-in-law it's the next day. Sister-in-law has now called her dad and my wife's best friend, crying and complaining that we're not considerate. She's currently not speaking to us. What the fuck do you mean considerate? Like, so they're not being considerate of me by not tailoring to my needs. They're not giving me what I want, so they're being inconsiderate. Duh. That is literally what it is to not give somebody something they want. I am not considering how the fuck you feel about what the fuck it is that you want, so I'm not going to give it to you. That's literally what it is. You're right. You're right. Because this don't have nothing to do with her. You not going to be taking her to fucking therapy because you got 2 motherfucking kids. So why does it matter if she's closest to you or not? Why would we make sure therapy is closest to you when you're not the person that's transporting her? She's living with us. Why the fuck would we make sure she's going to therapy closer to you? She's living with us while she's getting better. No, you're right. We're not considering you in a situation that has nothing to do with you. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely fucking right. But all right, y'all. I'm tired. I'm getting a slight headache. I got leftover Wingstop that I kind of want to pick at for a little bit. So yeah, it was fun. All right, you guys. I'll be back soon. I don't know when, but I'll be back. I don't know when my next live will be. I don't know. All right. Love you.